Hi there, let's learn Blue Christmas today. We've got kind of a 4-bar pattern that repeats with a variation on the ending here. So just know once we learn those first 3 lines, we've learned the bulk of the song. It's just a matter how each of these parts ends at the end here. We're going to play it, what key is this? It is the key of C. Hard to remember sometimes because we've got a slew of chords to look for here. I'm going to start the first pattern here on the C chord, 2 bars of C to 2 bars of G7. Ha, that's very nice. The next line goes to 1 bar of D minor. Remember D minor being our F with a friend. F chord, add your ring finger to the 2nd fret of C. And then a bar of G7, back around to D. That feels nice enough. Let's try that. This is in standard time, and we're going to add a swing strum to it. 1, 2, we'll start on C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. Next line is D minor to G7 and back to C for 2. Straightforward enough, right? The third line is where it gets a little tricky. We're going to go to G minor. From my C chord, I often place my index finger down first. It goes on the 1st fret of A, and then I reach my middle finger over to the 2nd fret of C, and then my ring finger comes in down here on the 3rd fret of E. You may find, though, that it's easier to reach with your middle finger and place the other fingers around, or maybe even the ring finger because your ring finger is on the C chord. Whatever makes the most sense for you in your hand, definitely take a moment, determine what the best movement is for you, how you're going to get there. G minor for 1, A7 for 1, and then 2 bars of D minor. Let's just try that since it's kind of a new chord here. I'm going to start on my C chord, ready, set, G minor, 1 strum, 1, 2, 3, A7, 1, 2, 3, D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. All right, reset back to C, because that's the chord we're coming from. Let's try that again. G minor, 1, 2, 3, A7, 1, 2, 3, D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2. One more time, if you want to add the swing strum with me, you're welcome to. Starting on C, 1, 2, here we go, G minor, A7, D minor for 2. All right, so feel free to pause there if there's anything more you need to review. I'm going to move on to the 4th line. From D minor, I'm going to go to D7. So take your index finger off, move your middle finger over to the 2nd fret of E, if you like to finger it that way. And then we're there for 2 bars, and then we're going over to the G7 chord. We play that for 1 bar, and then we hold it for 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're back to C to start the 2nd half of the verse. So let's just play through what we have so far. We'll do it once, and then we'll go back and add the lyrics. So we'll start on C now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, to D minor, G7, and back to C for 2. Here comes G minor, 1, 2, 3, A7, D minor for 2. Now over to D7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, to G7, 1, 2, 3, and hold. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red pause right there. We'll move on to the second half. As always, feel free to pause if you ever need to review whatever we just did. Let's move on to the second half here. So we start off the exact same for the 2 lines that start us off, right? 2 bars of C, 2 bars of G7, D minor, G7, C. That all is the same. Where it starts to change is in the 3rd line. Starts off the same as before, G minor, A7, D minor, and then a beautiful diminished 7 chord. E flat diminished here. This is really a fun one. What we're going to do is from that D minor chord, there are a couple ways to think about this. I think of it as going to the G shape, but scooched over one set of strings. So my index and middle are coming to the 2nd fret of G and E, respectively. My ring finger's coming in here to the 3rd fret of C. And honestly, if that's enough for you just to get from this shape to this shape, you can get away with that for this song, right? If you want to take it one step further and get really authentic with me, hold that shape and add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the E string. That's what gives it the diminished 7 sound, right? This is technically kind of like a B7 chord or something, or a diminished something or other. I don't know the exact terminology, but this is the real kicker, if you can get it. So you decide what challenge you're looking for today. Again, D minor to that E flat diminished. Definitely take your time figuring out what finger is going to lead the others, what's the placement, right? And a whole day's worth of practice. Could just be a couple minutes of going back and forth between these chords. All right, so take your time with that outside of the video to go back and forth there. And then finally we close it out with 2 bars of G7 and 2 bars of C. So because of that tricky one, let's just strum one time per chord, and we'll take it kind of slow from the G minor. You'll be doing all right is our lyric here. 1, 2, nice and slow. G minor over to A7, strum to D minor and strum, E flat diminished and strum, then G7 here. 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3 and back to C. 2, 3, 4. Let's try that with a strum now. G minor, A7, D minor. Move as soon as you need to get to that diminished. G7 for 2 and back to C. Let's try it with the word. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas. Pause right there. All right? So again, take as much time as you need, work in that loop there and that tough part with the diminished chord, especially if it's a new chord to you. Take your time with that. When you are ready, come on back. Join me for the play along next.